7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In May of 1961, President John F. Kennedy made a goal. He wanted to send human beings to the surface of the mysterious, unexplored moon. However, he knew that this goal could never be reached without one key component: mathematicians. In order for the moon landing to be successful, the speed, velocity, and acceleration of the spacecraft, later named Apollo 11, had to be carefully calculated. When determining the speed Apollo 11 needed to reach the moon, mathematicians first identified the total distance the spacecraft had to travel. They concluded that Apollo 11 would journey through the vast 238,855 miles that separated the Earth from the moon. When shooting into space, the force of gravity and the spaceship's massive weight of 6 million pounds causes a decrease in its speed. To overcome these forces, mathematicians concluded that Apollo 11 had to be launched at an immense speed of 7 miles per second to break free from Earth's orbit. Going at this speed, Apollo 11 successfully entered into space. However, the work of mathematicians did not end here. If the spaceship continued to move at this rate, it would fly right past the moon. The spaceship had to decrease in speed so that the moon's gravity could pull Apollo 11 into its orbit. This change in speed is known as a deceleration. Due to its deceleration, the strength of gravity exerted by the moon began to capture Apollo 11. The astronauts inside of the spacecraft anxiously awaited their quickly approaching arrival to this unexplored world.
All at once, the vast, unfamiliar surface of the moon became visible. The astronauts started to descend towards this crater-filled landscape, with the fate of their lives rested on the calculations made by NASA mathematicians. After their 4-day travel through space, the mathematicians' calculations proved to be correct. As the astronauts held their breath, the spacecraft touched down on the moon. They slowly emerged from Apollo 11, becoming the first human beings to step foot on the satellite of the Earth.
I'm going to step off the limb. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Traveling a total distance of 238,855 miles in 6,165 minutes, Apollo 11's flight had an average speed of 38.74 miles per minute, faster than the speed of sound. July 20th, 1969, the date of the Apollo 11 landing, would go down as a defining moment in human history. But the world must not forget that this accomplishment could not have been done without the meticulous calculations of speed and acceleration done by mathematicians.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.